Good morning. And thank you, Andreas, for the welcome and for your very articulate overview of the challenges, customers, investments, global competitiveness facing the industry in Europe. To my U.S. ears, it sounded very familiar. I will take heart that we are united as an industry globally in addressing these opportunities and these challenges together. I also want to acknowledge my colleague, Florence Doucemont, for hosting these dialogues in your beautiful country. We will give you all the credit, not only for the beauty of Paris, but the weather, which is divine. C'est un moment merveilleux d'être ensemble à Paris. Merci. Un peu de français de l'université. Un peu. In addition to being CEO of the American Council of Life Insurers, I have the honor of currently serving as president of the Global Federation of Insurance Associations, which represents 67 countries. GFIA was created to harness the collective experiences and knowledge of our member associations so we can drive solutions in all of our regions around the globe. Of course, it is ably led by our secretariat that resides in Insurance Europe and ably led by Michaela Kohler. GFIA has provided us with a global brain trust and a voice to engage with regulators, the G20, the B20, and other thought leaders around the globe. We take our policy case to market with these groups to preserve and enhance your ability to do what you do best, serve consumers with private sector financial protection products. On the question of global competitiveness and the concern about hyper-regulation, I can assure you GFIA is on it. We talk about this and we are very purposeful in how we can address it, again, collectively and in our regions. And we do make some progress. We provide input on many international consultations. For example, convincing the IAIS and Financial Stability Board to discontinue the annual identification of global systemically important markets, or in globally systemically important insurers. We worked with the IAIS to recognize our industry as a critical sector during COVID-19 so we could keep running and paying claims on time for our customers. We've supported IAIS work on issues like sustainability and financial stability, and a special thanks to the leadership of our hosts, the French Federation of Insurance, who leads the climate effort, our RAA colleagues who lead on extreme events, and the 11 other working group chairs who are our intellectual and laboring oars on the critical priorities facing the industry around the globe. We've served as the rallying point for countries facing natural disasters, like the devastating earthquakes in Turkey and New Zealand. We've engaged with leaders around the world, including regional leaders in Morocco, which will host this year's Fall World Bank meeting, Brazil, which will be the host of the 2024 G20, and Japan, which chairs this year's G7. GFIA has gone to work educating on the strength and stability of the industry to encourage the regulators to use the phrase non-banks and non-insurers instead of grouping insurers with other sectors that are not generally as regulated as insurers. That is the power of association, and our work continues. We believe we can be a force multiplier in driving private sector financial protection for citizens all over the world. And today I want to share how we are thinking about protection gaps, how it connects to our shared mission and our shared responsibility, and what that means as an opportunity for shared leadership. First, our shared mission. Today, we are faced with a host of challenges, as Andreas so articulately outlined. And the pandemic certainly shined a spotlight where needs are most acute for people and countries. Financial risk protection gaps are stark, climate risk is real, and cyber risk has increased. On your behalf, GFIA is taking steps to understand those protection gaps and reinforce the industry's voice as a thought leader and solutions driver. This work is more relevant than ever in the 21st century. The role of corporations is changing, as we all know well. Now the business sector is expected to use its influence and thought leadership to help solve societal challenges. And I appreciate the tagline of the France Insurers, which I think captures it very well. Moving society forward confidently. That is our mission. And as the insurance industry, we are doing it with great purpose. The insurance industry, our shared mission, financial protection for all people, isn't just ready for the global challenges we face. Our mission can be the answer to the global challenges we face. Protecting tomorrow, as the theme of this conference, is an apt rallying cry for all of us here today, because this is where mission connects to responsibility. In times of uncertainty, people and institutions are facing increasing risks to their health, wealth, and income, risks that are not adequately protected. As GFIA, we saw a need and opportunity to analyze and communicate the risks that will have the most impact on real people's lives, our customers, all as a means to galvanize action among all stakeholders. I'm proud to share that this year, the GFIA commissioned the first ever Global Protection Gap Study. Our study explored situations where individuals are not adequately safeguarded against loss. It found 4 gaps that have the most impact on people's lives due to their size, global presence, impact on livelihoods, and expected growth. These are pensions, cyber, health, and natural catastrophes. I suspect no surprise to the people in this room. We quantified these gaps to the tune of trillions of dollars globally. We looked at the contributing factors to the gaps, and we offered analysis into each area. However, we didn't stop at just identifying the shortfalls. We also shared policy recommendations where policymakers and insurers can work together to bridge the gaps. And we include case studies to demonstrate the private and public policy actions that have been taken to reduce protection gaps. I'll give you just a couple of examples. Aging societies are putting massive pressure on global pension systems. The gap equates to $1 trillion annually. Our report recommends policy levers that include encouraging access to innovative products, consumer education, and actions like implementing automatic enrollment in retirement savings plans. Climate change and global development are causing more natural disasters, and it's hurting people and businesses financially and physically. The annual protection gap is $135 billion. Our report offers several recommendations, like new distribution models to put more insurance products in the hands of more people, or facilitating access to global reinsurance markets to reduce the geographic concentration of risks. I encourage you to look at the full study available at GFIAinsurance.org. We go deep on both of these topics, as well as for cyber and health. Ultimately, our aim is to educate the global community and provide a blueprint for meaningful dialogue to advance real policy solutions. Our industry is already taking on the challenge. For example, we're using new technology to assess risks and pay claims, and to make the sale of insurance more accessible for people and businesses. But insurers can only do so much by ourselves. A whole of society approach is needed, and this is why we need shared leadership. Closing these gaps will require actions from policymakers to create environments where risks can be managed and mitigated. As a highly regulated industry, as we all know too well, that means we need beneficial partnerships where the free market can support government efforts to fill the protection gaps. The GFIA Protection Gap Study is a starting point, a springboard. Working with regulators, governing bodies, and policymakers, we can also do more to reach underserved or marginalized populations. We can be hopeful that in this critical area, there are some green shoots of progress. The IAIS has prioritized financial inclusion of women and minorities in their strategic plan, and they have set 2024 as their target to develop regulatory guidance on diversity and inclusion efforts as a way of closing protection gaps. The B20 has created, under the Indian G20 presidency, the first special initiatives on financial inclusion, where one of the main objectives is to foster gender equality in the workplace and in society. Our host, Florence Lussmann, has been one of the leaders of this work. In the United States, our executive branch, including the Departments of Treasury, Commerce, Labor, and State, and the U.S. Trade Representative, have stated that all bilateral and multilateral negotiations will now consider sustainability, labor, and equality. This all does not just happen. This is a result of unified efforts to prioritize financial inclusion and commitment to closing financial protection gaps. Our shared leadership is a way we determine how to advance together in a way that is meaningful and will have impact. Financial inclusion is a societal challenge that knows no borders. Together, we can go further. That is the power of association. We are stronger together than in isolation. Let me close by saying this. Each of us, from our own vantage points, sees the gaps that our countries and our people face. The insurance industry is designed to be there for people when they need it most through financial protection. And we are an important partner to the government sector in solving big challenges, emphasis on the word partner. I am mindful that we as leaders in insurance have an opportunity to be the bridge, to close those gaps, to find innovative solutions to ensure greater access, to provide certainty in an uncertain world. Let us use this time together today, the head-to-heads, the panel dialogues, and the side conversations and the connections to forge pathways for financial certainty, for people, for communities, for our world. Thank you very much.